Good evening and welcome to 8th grade parent night for Colorado High School. We are so happy to see you all here. We're doing things a little differently this year, but in the end, your students are going to get to benefit so much because of it. At this time, our auditorium is not in function because it's being worked on. They're renovating it, and your students are going to get to use that, and it's going to be way better than it is now, so that's really exciting. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. The first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to our administrators. Our head administrator is Mrs. Kristen Goggins. Our freshman administrator is Mr. Terry. Mrs. Ross is our sophomore administrator, and Mr. Foley is our senior administrator. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Goggins to the floor, and she would like to speak with you.
Good evening, class of 2024. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's give yourselves a big round of applause. Congratulations on coming. It's the first step in the right direction. This is the first step to a successful high school 4 years. We are looking forward to each and every one of you coming up to the high school. We have lots of new and different things to offer for you, but yet they are still very similar to middle school. The rules are really the same. It's a real smooth transition from the middle school to the high school. Mr. Terry is going to talk to you a little bit about that, some of the rules and expectations that we have. We want to thank you all parents for being here tonight. It's very important that the students are engaged and get hooked up. It's very important that they're involved in something. So students, if you haven't been involved in the middle school, start thinking of something that you'd like to be involved in high school. Research indicates that idle hands are the devil's work, and so we want to make sure we keep these kids hooked up. So whether it's a club, a sport, or organization, whatever it might be, academic team, we have a lot of things that you can become involved in at Carl Albert High School, and there are a lot of great sponsors and coaches who would love for you to be a part of their program. At this time, I would just like to kind of close with one of the big sayings that we have around here, and it's good choices, good things happen, bad choices, bad things happen. You follow that, you're going to go far. It's going to serve you well, not only just in high school, but also in life. At this time, I'd like to bring Mr. Terry to the microphone. He is your freshman principal, and he's going to have some words of advice for you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming out. It's a big deal for you guys to be here. We appreciate you being here. A lot of information going to come your way. I'm not going to take very long. I'm not a big public speaker. We're going to have kids come out here in a little bit. Part of the presentation, we'll discuss the rules. We'll discuss rules and orientation when we start next school year. So they're not a lot different. Like Ms. Goggins said, we run a pretty tight ship like they do down in middle school. We collaborate on a lot of stuff. A lot of it's going to be the same. A few more freedoms as long as we can handle ourselves responsibly. Very proud of this place. I'm a graduate from here. We have very high expectations. When you walk through the door and you become a Carl Albert Titan at the high school, that's not going to change while I'm here, while Ms. Goggins is here. And I don't think you parents would want that to change either. We want the absolute best, but we ask a high price. And we expect our kids to rise to that and meet the challenges that we give them. Nothing's unachievable, just got to work hard to get there. Also hit on attendance. We started an attendance policy. I think they did the same thing at the middle school. Big deal. We need your kids here. All right? It starts from day one, and it goes through day 180, whenever we're here. We need you here every day. Some things come up, we understand, but we need kids in the seats getting that instruction from their teachers. You can't be replaced. All right? It's a lot different than picking up the homework and missing it because you went on wherever you were sick. We need you here, we need you getting the instruction. Like I said, I'm short and sweet. So last two things first. Like I said, with the expectations, we have transfers. We have people who try and enroll just about every day, it seems like. If you're a transfer student, you're held to an even higher expectation every year. Grades, attendance, and discipline are looked at. If you do well in all those things, we can remain a Carl Albert Titan. If we don't do well in grades, attendance, and discipline, then we go back to our home school. All right? And that's again back with those high expectations. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. Kids, if you're here, finish this year strong. All right? Some of you are in classes that feed into your high school transcript. Get those knocked out now. Roll into your freshman year. It's a tough year for a lot of you. It's a lot of changes going on. You're going from the big fish, now we're back to the little fish up here with 1,100 kids. Right now, this is a very large class. I think it was 310 kids. That's big for us. Like Ms. Goggins said, find something to be a part of. Find a sport, find a club. Start down there, roll it into here. Find something to be a part of to make your time here even more enjoyable. It's a great place, and I hope all of you come to us next year and help us maintain the tradition of excellence that we have in everything that we do. Who's next? Wonderful Miss Susan.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. Okay, so I'm going to start off by introducing the counselors. The counselors up here are, we're divided by last name. So your son or daughter is stuck, for better or for worse, with the same counselor for 4 years. That's a little joke. It's okay to giggle. Okay. So I'm Mrs. Souza. I have the beginning of the alphabet. I am A through G. So just a little bit about me. This is my 11th year at Carl Albert, being a counselor up here. And although your kids, this is a big class, we've heard wonderful things about them, and we are really excited for them to be up here. So I'm going to hand it off to Ms. Worth. Let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Ms. Souza. I am Mrs. Worth. And if your child's last name begins with letters H through P, then I will be their counselor for the next 4 years. I'm very excited to start developing relationships with your student. And just so that you guys know, we have an open door policy in our counseling office. If your student needs to come and see us, they can come and see us in between classes at lunchtime, or they can fill out a form to come and see us, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. A little bit about me. This is my 8th year at Carl Albert High School, my 25th year in public education, and there's been ups and downs, but this class, we're looking forward to them coming up because we believe that this is going to be an up year with them. I've heard a lot of good things, like Ms. Souza said. We have high expectations for this incoming freshman class, and so all of you kids that are out there, don't let us down, okay? Meet those expectations. And next will be Ms. Purcell.
I'm Mrs. Purcell, and I have the tail end of the alphabet, Q through Z, so we will walk a 4-year journey together. And it is a journey of ups and downs, but at the end of it all, you walk out of here very happy and proud to be a Titan. So I'm looking forward to that. A little bit about myself. I've been in education for 25 years in different roles, and been a counselor now for 8, 5 of it here. So we'll go ahead and get started. We want to talk to you and your parents and kind of recap what we did with you when we went to the middle school and let your parents know what we gave you. So some of them I already see out the blue forms. One item your student received was a blue enrollment form. And we asked them to make sure that they filled that in correctly with their full legal name, because sometimes we have students with the same name, first and last, and so we really need to look at that middle name. So their full legal name, not a different name that they like to go by. We ask that when they fill in their course request, they must fill in enough for 7 hours in the school day. When you look on the back of the blue sheet, when you see a 0.5, that means a semester. When you see a 1, that means a year. And so we explain that to them and how important it is for them to fill that out completely, or else we pick their classes for them and they don't want us picking their classes for them. Because if they don't like art and we put them in art, they're probably not going to be happy with us. So we ask that you review that tonight when you get home to make sure that it is filled out correctly. We're trying to teach them that they're getting ready to get their driver's license and many other things are coming out of that form will need to be filled out and filled out correctly. The next thing that we're going to go over is Ms. Susan wants to talk about, or she needs to talk about graduation requirements, because that is very important.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the graduation requirements set by the state and set by Mandel. So again, we went over this with your students last Thursday, but want to tell them to you too. So graduation requirements, you have to have these requirements to be able to graduate, for us to be able to give you an Oklahoma high school diploma. So 4 years of language arts, we set that up, English 1, 2, 3, and 4. Math, you have to have 3 units in a high school. So even if you're in pre-AP Algebra 1 right now, that is a high school math, but it is not a math taken in the high school setting. So you still have to have 3 more maths after you get up here. 3 units of science. 1 has to be biology. They will all take biology next year as a freshman. The other one has to be a physical science. So either physical science or chemistry. We'll take care of that. And then the third science is the one that they choose. And we have lots that they can choose from. We have zoology and botany, we have anatomy and physiology, environmental science. So there's a lot that they can choose from. Social studies and PFL is 3.5 units. The PFL is personal financial literacy. The 0.5 will be taken care of next year with Oklahoma history. And then we take care of the rest of them. Again, world history is sophomore year, U.S. history is junior year, and then senior year is government, and that's a full year, and we will embed the personal financial literacy into their government class. Foreign language or computers. This can be somewhat confusing sometimes. They have to have 2 years of one or the other of those consecutive. So it has to be 2 years of Spanish, 2 years of French, 2 years of computers. It can't be Spanish 1 and then change over to French 1 and that count as your 2 years of a foreign language. Okay? You can't have Spanish 1 and then not like that and then do 2 years of a year of computers and that work. Okay? You can do that, you just have to do another year of something. Okay? And then you have to have an additional core class, which can be an additional math, an additional science, or an additional foreign language or computers. So if you did Spanish 1, 2, and 3, that Spanish 3 would count for your additional unit. If you did Spanish 1 and 2, and then computer apps 1 and 2, that computer apps 1 and 2 would be your additional unit. Or you did science 4 times, or math 4 times, that 4th one counts as your additional unit. Okay? So usually senior year, English, math, and that additional unit, and then the rest is electives or concurrent or something else. And then you have 1 unit of fine art. Fine art can be music, band, drama, art, humanities, any of those. They all count for fine arts. And then you have electives to balance out to 23 units. So 8th grader out there, do you remember how many units we're going to get total? 7 hours a day, 4 hours a year, or 4 years? 4 years. 28? I hear that? Okay. We had some mathematicians in the, they would just yell it out for us. So everybody's going to have at least 28, but you actually only need 23 to graduate. So anyway, you're going to have lots. Then you have other things in your graduation requirements that are not actually in things that are units. We have testing requirement, which is taken care of junior year, CPR, which is taken care of senior year, and ICAP requirements, which will be starting your freshman year. And so that will lead me to Ms. Ward, and she's going to talk to you about ICAP requirements.
Okay, parents, if you had a student come through Carl Albert before, you're going to ICAP, I don't know what that is. It is new. There was a law passed a few years ago, and that law starts applying to this year's current freshmen. And so there's some things starting with this year's freshman class and beyond, as your kids come up, that they're going to have to do that are required by House Bill 2155. So I'm going to cover a few of those. Some of them will happen every year. Some of them just have to happen once while they are in high school. Every year, they're going to be doing some career interest surveys. This is going to be done through a website called OK Career Guide, and we will take care of that here at school. So we'll have certain days set aside that they're going to be working in that program during the school year. And so, and also, I don't want to forget this, when they first sign up for it, there will be a way for them to include you so that you can see what they're doing in their OK Career Guide account. And that is simply, they'll have to input an email address or a cell phone number. And so that will be coming up close to the beginning of the year next year. Every year we'll have written post-secondary and workforce goals, and then they'll monitor the progress towards those goals, and again, that will be done in their OK Career Guide account. They'll take an intentional sequence of courses, and the way that I explained this when we met with the 8th graders is if they want to go into a career that deals with fine arts in some capacity, whenever we do enrollment every year and we go over their enrollment paper with them, we're going to try to steer them towards those fine arts classes so that they will be better prepared to either further their education once they graduate from high school in the area of fine arts, or maybe they go right into a job that deals with fine arts. And that's just an example. So every year when we review their courses, when we do pre-enrollment, they'll keep track of their academic progress as well. On their OK Career Guide account, they will enter their scores that they have on college entrance exams like the SAT or the ACT. So this is going to be like print off one page, and it's going to show a lot of things that they're doing within this OK Career Guide account. And then the last one, I'm going to spend a little bit more time explaining it. They have to do some experience in service learning and or the work environment. And what this means, it's not something hard, and they have to do this once within their high school career. They have to spend some time in a career area, whether it be doing job shadowing or going to the tech center or with a summer job that is in an area of careers that they are interested in. So maybe they are interested in being a veterinarian and they get a summer job before their junior year in which they work at a veterinarian's office. That would satisfy that requirement. Maybe during the summertime or on a break, if they want to go into like being a plumber, they job shadow a plumber for a day. That will satisfy that requirement. So just be aware that that's part of what's going to be required of them as they progress through high school. And we will also, in our OK Career Guide account, when they complete that, they'll be able to go in, check it off, write down what they've done, and then once they've done it one time, they don't have to go back and do it again as far as meeting their high school graduation requirements. Again, this is a new thing. It started with this year's freshmen, and it will continue on. It's really a good thing because when your child graduates from high school, they will have a plan for what they're going to do when they graduate through this whole process of working on their career interests from freshman year all the way through their senior year. Okay? So now we're going to talk about the Remind. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Remind. This is the other page that's part of your little handout. So I don't know if you've had classes that have had Remind, or when they had Remind, they had Remind in the middle school, for the whole school. Well, Remind decided that they wanted to have a little piece of the puzzle or piece of the pie, I think that's the right saying, and get some money. And we came in this year and realized that we couldn't send a message out to any of our classes because we had like around 200 kids or parents that had signed up for the Remind, and if you have over 100, they start charging you. And it took me a while to figure out how much they were going to charge us, because we were like, well, it's not that bad. I mean, we could pull our pennies together and we could pay for it. It was like $400 to have an account, and we decided that that was not part of our penny getting together. So to get around that, we each made our own Remind for the whole class of 2024 in every class. So you'll see on your little handout, oh, I don't have it. Where's Miss Purcell? You're supposed to be holding up my Vanna is not being Vanna. Oh, there we go. Miss Ross is holding up. So you'll see that each one of us has a Remind that's been built. So mine is the A to G, obviously, and so and we all send out the same Remind. So it won't be like, well, I'm going to sign up for each one of them. Don't do that. Because I want to make sure I get everything. We have a system that works pretty well. When Ms. Ward sends something out, she emails us, and then we send it out. So it might not all come at the same time, but they do eventually go out. So that is Remind from the council. Now, this is very, very important. There won't be too much that your freshmen get. You will get something in August that says we can't wait to see you for Tiger Camp and for scheduled pickup and those kind of things. But one of our student leaders, Ms. Alidi, is going to come up and tell you about how important Remind is.
Hi, my name is Alini. So Remind is like really helpful. It's really good if you sign up and you're like really want to get those scholarships your senior year, or even like your freshman year if you forget something, they'll like quickly like remind you. Yeah, it's really helpful. So sign up for it, don't forget. It's gonna help you a lot, trust me. Because I forget a lot of things, and I'm the biggest procrastinator. But when you get those reminders, I get them twice because I have the app and on the iMessage. And it really reminds me of everything I need to keep up with. So, yeah, sign up for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Liddy. I know that the seniors got at least 3 today, so as you get older, you'll get a lot more. If you didn't get 3 seniors, that means you're not signed up. Okay, I think next is another high school who's so scary, Lanisha.
Hey guys, my name is Anisha, and I'm going to be talking to you about lanyards. And I know some of you may not want to wear it like it's just a piece of plastic with your name and your picture on it, but it actually helps our principals and our teachers know that you're an actual student here and not someone breaking into our school. We actually always have to wear these, no matter if it doesn't match your outfit that day. I know the thing. But yes, we always have to wear it, even when you become a junior or senior and then you're finally allowed to go off campus for lunch. Say you don't have your ID, but you have to get an ugly ID. Well, if you have an ugly ID, then you can't go off campus for lunch that day. Sorry, but you can't. And if you don't have an ID that day when you're coming to school, you have to get an ugly ID. You have to have an ID on 24/7. And don't do like me and bring your ID and wear someone else's, because if you get caught, you will get in trouble. So make sure you always have your ID with your name and your face on it. I would advise all of you, when you all get here and you get an ID, get 2 or 3 of them, because you're gonna lose it. If it happens to the rest of us, it's gonna happen. You're gonna lose your first ID. So always have a backup, have it in your bag, or tie it to the handle, have it in your car if you have one, or when you get one. Just make sure you always have your ID on you, because it keeps you safe.
Okay, next is Hunter and Trevor.
Hi, I'm Hunter Willard. I'm a junior. I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to reiterate, taking your classes that are required early, freshman and sophomore year, take them, get them out of the way. Math and English, like you can't really get around those, but your foreign language, your like the arts and stuff like that, get those out of the way if you can. That way, this is my first semester of concurrent, like as a junior, and it's just, I don't want to say it's easier, but it is nice. So concurrent and just other things like that, it allows you to do like senior internships and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes on that you can't do if you have to take Spanish your senior year, stuff like that. If you want to take Spanish your senior year, you can, but if you don't, you won't have to because you took it freshman or sophomore year. So just take your credits and then listen to the counselors. That was the other thing. Miss Purcell, I have had like hour-long conversations with her, and she's the only reason that I am still reading in high school. So listen to your counselors. They know what they're talking about, and they, yeah, just really listen to them.
Alright, so I gotta talk about not slacking off freshman year. I was pissed because I slacked off freshman year, and I got bad grades, or not good grades. And now I have a scar on my transcripts for the rest of high school. I'm a senior. Also, the PSAT, another area that I thought didn't matter. I didn't know the National Merit Scholarship actually pivots completely on the PSAT, and so I didn't perform as well as I should have. I was just a bad freshman. Don't be like me. Don't slack off in your classes. It's probably actually going to feel easier than 8th grade. It felt easier for me freshman year than 8th grade. There's a lot more freedom. So just don't slack off in your classes and do well on the PSAT. And don't be like me.
Okay, Trevor's really not that bad.
Trevor is going to be a very productive adult. I'm going to talk about just a couple of things looking to the future, just kind of some FYI things that you need to be aware of. The first thing I'm going to mention is Oklahoma's promise. is a scholarship sponsored by the state of Oklahoma. That's why it's called Oklahoma's Promise. And it is based on income. So if your annual income is $55,000 a year or less, then your child will qualify for the Oklahoma's Promise scholarship. However, you do have to fill out the application, and it is found online. You can just Google Oklahoma's Promise, and it will bring up the Oklahoma's Promise website and fill the information out. It will require some tax information, so you probably need to have your tax return handy whenever you do this. Your child can apply for it their 8th, 9th, or 10th grade year. Once the 10th grade year is over, they can no longer qualify for Oklahoma's Promise. Now, I'm going to talk about the income limit for just a minute. The year that you qualify with that $55,000 cap or less, you need to jump on that. Because let's say this year you qualify, but their freshman year and their sophomore year, so you make $57,000, $58,000 a year, they cannot apply during their freshman or their sophomore year. So be aware of that. And again, you can Google Oklahoma's Promise and find information about it. Ticket to Rose Scholarship. This is an amazing opportunity that Rose State gives to our students that graduate from Midvale schools. It pays for 2 years of tuition at Rose State. And I went back and looked at our end of year report for our graduating classes, and 40 to 47% of our senior class, since I've been here, 8 years, have taken advantage of not Oklahoma's Promise, of the Ticket to Rose Scholarship. It is a competitive GPA. It's a 2.5 GPA that your student has to have as the requirement. And during their senior year, they will apply for it after January 1st. So that's in the second semester of their senior year. But they need to keep their GPA up. They need to make sure that they're taking the right classes and so on and so forth to prepare them for that. And again, it is a very, very big help. My daughter just graduated from college, and then I have a son who's a freshman in college right now, and money to pay for college is a huge help. Another thing is concurrent enrollment. Your student can enroll for a concurrent class starting their junior year. And what a concurrent class is, they can earn college credit while still in high school. And it is a money saver if college is the plan that your student has upon graduation. Because the Oklahoma State Regents help to pay for the tuition for concurrent classes. You'll still have to pay some fees, you'll still have to pay for books if the classes require books. However, the biggest chunk of the cost, you do not have to pay for that junior and that senior year. And they can take classes during the summertime as well. I know my son took government the summer between his junior and senior year and got that out of the way, which leads me to another thing about concurrent. There are some concurrent classes that will take the place of classes B, government being one of them. So if your child takes government concurrent, they do not have to take government here, but they'll have to do something else for personal financial literacy because our PFL requirements are embedded within our government class. But that's just an example of how concurrent can be helpful to your child. And then for athletes, NCAA eligibility, that's not something that you really need to worry about their freshman year, but towards the end of the sophomore year, junior year, you feel like that your kiddo may want to play sports at the collegiate level, they will have to sign up with the NCAA eligibility clearinghouse, and then there's a whole process of things that will have to be done. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that because, again, right now that's not something that needs to be worried about. The three of us know what courses are accepted by NCAA from our school. For example, computers. Doesn't matter where you are in the United States, computers are not accepted by NCAA. Computer courses are not. However, foreign language courses are accepted by NCAA. So we're aware of that, and we'll make sure that we steer your child into the right direction so that they will be NCAA eligible. And about their sophomore year, if they're thinking about playing at the collegiate level, they need to let us know so that we can mark that on their credit check and we can keep track of their courses for them to make sure that they're ready to go. Okay, next we have some more high school students. They're going to talk about high school. Is it so scary? Berkeley.
And it's not like you're going to guarantee to have lunch with your friends. There's 2 lunches. It's basically just based off your 4th-hour teacher. So you might have first lunch, one of your buddies might have second lunch. It's just kind of randomized there. And then once you sit down in the cafeteria, stay in that seat. Don't get up, go moving around, trying to talk to everyone, because you'll get caught. Coach Ron's will yell at you. You'll know. And then don't be afraid to sit with someone new. Like, if you don't, like, if there's not a spot, just go to some random person, go up there, because you might make their day, you might make a new friend, you never really know what you're going to do.
Okay. And this is Coach Lily. This is our athletic director, Coach Corley, and he's going to talk to you guys about athletics.
Welcome to high school. We'll start out with that. I don't know that I need this microphone, but again, welcome. I'm going to talk a little bit about athletics here. A lot of you, I see a lot of familiar faces here. Had older brothers or older sisters that have come through. Most of you know we're pretty successful in our athletics, but with that comes a lot of extra stuff, okay? So I want to talk to you just a little bit about not only do we have high expectations for our athletes, but it starts in the classroom, okay? Because we're going to hold you to a high standard on the field, on the court, on the baseball field, on the softball field, basketball court, whatever it may be, tennis court. It starts in the classroom, okay? So if you don't make your grades, then you're going to struggle in your athletics, okay? So just know that we're academics first, and athletics is extracurricular. It's just that, okay? It's a privilege to get to play, not a right. So you got to hold it up to your bargain on that deal, okay? So second thing I'll say is it's very demanding. It's high school athletics. We have great coaches here. They're going to set high standards for you guys and gals, and it's tough. It's hard. It's not Little League. It's not AAU ball. It's not that. You have to go to class. You have to make the grades. If you don't, you're on the eligibility report, and things happen. So it's a little different than the outside sports that maybe you're used to, okay? So just know that, and here in a little while, all the sports programs are set up next door, and you're going to go by and visit over there. The coaches will have handouts. There may be requirements. I'm just going to use football as an example. We do what's called the PC course, performance course, in the summertime. If you're going to play football, you must come to that performance course, okay? We work out, we get in shape. You have to be there, all right? I'll talk more to the football players about that, but I know baseball, you got to play baseball games. Golf, I know you're required to play so many golf tournaments. It's not one of those things where I just say, well, hey, I think I want to do this, and I've never done it before, all right? So just know that when you go next door and you visit with the coach, that there may be some prerequisites for you when you get over there. We encourage all of you to do that. Get involved, be a part of it. But just know it's not a deal where I just say, hey, I'm here and I want to play. It's a lot of hard work. The second thing I want to hit on, and again, most of you are familiar with this, is rank 1. Every sport has this over there. Rank 1 is a good thing. It is where you will go and fill out all the paperwork, okay? It's online. You have to go and do that on the computer. You can't do it on your phone, but you can go and look that up. Again, I've laid these out on all of the tables over there. You're going to have to fill out a concussion, insurance waiver, release liability, drug consent, helmet warning, sudden cardiac arrest, acknowledgement form, heat illness, House Bill 26115, OSSA Rule number 9. There's a lot to fill out there, okay? Your student must fill that out, you must fill that out, and it must be green before you can participate, okay? So the quicker you do that, the better, okay? And that will open up in May. Write that down or highlight that when you get this piece of paper next door. You need to get all of that done as quickly as possible in May, is when you can go on and start to fill those out for next year. Okay, last thing I have is the athletic physicals are going to be May 18th. You might jot that down. I know you guys are getting a lot of information here, but it's going to be May 18th. Okay, and it's on this sheet. I encourage you all to take it that day, get it done, and then it's you hand it to the coach down there. We have it. It's in the system, and we're ready to go. Questions? Okay. Again, when you guys leave here, you go outside here. They'll direct you. All the coaches will be there. If a coach is not there, they'll have a sign-up sheet. Just sign that up. Be sure you give them contact information, telephone, email addresses so they can get a hold of them. All right? Yes, ma'am? Okay, I'm getting a message here. Again, if a coach signs the form, like I said, and there's prerequisites there, you have to come to PC course, or you have to play so many games over the summertime. If you don't fulfill that, then you will not be enrolled in that sport come time for school to start. Okay? Again, you got to hold up to your bargain. It's a very serious thing. We take it very serious. I think everybody knows that. So if you sign up, got to hit those prerequisites over the summertime. Be there, do what the coach asks you to do, or you'll be taken out of that sport before we start in August. Thank you.
Coach Corley has shared he is on the drive for 5, so get ready, athletes. He's excited for the upcoming year. We have given you so much information already, and it sounds demanding, and high school is more demanding, so please keep that in mind for your daughter and your son. But we want to highlight some more areas that high school really isn't so scary. So we can have Alexa Johnson and Mackie Whitboy come forward and talk to you about some great things about high school.
Hey guys, I'm Alexa. I'm a senior here. And so we just want to talk to you about clubs. We want to let you know that it's more fun in high school if you get involved. I'm currently involved in leadership and NHS, and those are just my 2 main clubs. But my advice to you would be try everything. Try and see what you like. You might try French club and you might love it. Or you might try chess club and you're like, that's not for me, but you never know until you try it. So that would be my biggest advice to you.
Hi guys, my name is Naki. I'm a senior here. My biggest advice to you is just get involved in everything you can. You never know if you're going to like something until you try, so just give it your all, and the more you put in, the better, or the more you get out. So.
My name is Colin White, and I'm here to talk to you about pre-AP and AP courses. As a freshman, you're really limited on the AP courses you can take. I believe the only one you can take as a freshman is AP Human Geography. So I'm really here to talk to you about pre-AP. Make sure you know your student. Make sure your student is up for a challenge. There's nothing worse than a kid being put into a class that they're not up for the challenge and may not be mentally up for the challenge. And then we get into a situation where everybody's miserable. The student's miserable, the teacher's miserable, you're miserable because you can't help them. So make sure your student gets properly placed. And also, pre-AP is not an all or nothing deal. If you're in pre-AP, you don't have to be in everything pre-AP. Again, that goes back to knowing your student. My student's better in math than he is in English, so I'm going to put him in pre-AP math, but I'm going to leave him in a regular English class. So make sure you know your student. If they are getting into pre-AP, make sure they understand that they're expected to put in some work outside of the class. Those pre-AP classes are where the kids start getting challenged. They start not being able to get it the first go around. So make sure they're putting in time outside of the classroom. When you get to the AP courses, the rigor in there is advanced. Okay, so you're getting college credit if you take an AP course and you pass the AP test. So we need to realize that whenever we get to those AP courses. The rigor is increased, and so you are expected to work a little bit harder. We also expect all of our students that are in the AP course to take the AP test at the end of the semester. 94. And there is a cost to those tests, and they're $94. But the deal is, if your student takes the AP course and passes the AP test, that $94 looks really good compared to 3 hours of college coursework. You're getting a pretty good deal there. But you got to make sure your student is up for putting in the work. Also, and again, in this, for the pre-AP classes you sign up for tonight, make sure you get a pre-AP agreement for each class, not just one. So each class you're signing up for tonight needs an agreement, so make sure you grab that. I believe that's all I have.
And just to follow up, and I'm Ms. Ross, and I do the discipline for the sophomores, but I'm also in charge of a lot of the academic areas at the school. So to follow up on the agreements, I know in the middle school, because I also have a ninth grader coming up this year, they did them all on one sheet, and it was great because they were teamed. We don't team here in the high school, so every different class needs its own agreement because it will go to that individual teacher. After we're done with this presentation, they will be here at this table. Please note, there's always a line because there's a lot of people that need different agreements. And you can't just grab one, you need to grab however many for each of your classes. We'll be here at this table for a while, so if you need to go get your sports sign and then come back and get agreements, it's fine. You can do that. A couple of things I want to reiterate that Coach White touched on a little bit is finding that balance for your students. Make sure you know what your students are interested in and let them pursue that, whether it's through the pre-AP classes, whether it's getting them ready to go to the tech center that they can go to, the juniors and seniors, whether it's being in sports all the time, whatever their passion is, let them pursue that and then help them learn to balance their life. That it's okay to say enough is enough and this is my limit, this is all I can get done in the number of hours there is in a day. We want you to join something, but unfortunately some people hear that as you should join everything, and then you have the most stressed out little person in your house, which results in the super stressed out parents. So help them learn to find their balance. It's our job to teach them it's okay to say no. Also, as the students are taking classes that are challenging for them, maybe for the first time, allow them to struggle a little bit, because that's when they're going to learn the most. I'm not saying let them sink. It's not a sink or swim type of thing, but it's okay for them to struggle and have to go in and ask for a little bit of extra help. It's okay for them to have to find a tutor in a class, even if it's an AP class. They might just need to put in that time. As parents, I would like to remind you all to stay involved, come to parent-teacher conferences, join the parent organizations. You've done a great job through the middle school, and a lot of times you think, okay, they don't want me around anymore. Sometimes that's not true always, but they kind of give you that perception. Stay involved. It'll mean a lot to you, and it'll mean a lot to them at the end. Other things, some differences from the middle school to the high school that always get a little bit confusing. Academic letter, I know, is a huge thing at the middle school, and they can earn them each year based on service and grades and things like that. We don't have we do have an academic letter, but it's awarded to seniors that have maintained a 4.0 or higher through the end of their junior year. So the start of their senior year is when they'll get their academic letter back. There's no service requirements that go along with that, and it's a one-time situation. What we do have for freshmen is we have our 4.0 club that we recognize those kiddos every spring, and that's a cumulative 4.0 or above. And then also Oklahoma Honor Society, we get to recognize only the top 10% of the freshman class, which right now this class is a little over 300, so we would get to recognize the top 30 kids. Parents realize that we 30 freshmen that have over a 4.0 at the end of the first semester. So it's just the top 30 or the top 10% of the freshman class. National Honor Society, you can't join National Honor Society as a freshman. It's a national rule. And you can't have Junior National Honor Society and National Honor Society in the same building. So, we don't have National Honor Society for the freshmen, but what you do need to do, students, is find that leadership role, find some area that you are stepping up and being the leader, because that's the hardest way to get into Honor Society as a sophomore. That's where our kiddos struggle the most and usually end up waiting until their junior year to join after trying to find some way that they can prove their leadership ability. So I highly recommend, whether it's in your church, it's in this building, becoming a class officer, helping with the float, doing all the things that we have out there to do, joining some clubs and showing your leadership so that somebody can sign off and say that you have that quality. And again, the pre-AP and AP agreements will be here at the very end, and I think we have one more. Oh, and Susan's adding something.
I just like to hear my voice. On the AP and pre-AP agreements, we explain this to the kids, but they might understand it a little bit more when they see it. Name and course title are at the top, so make sure that you or they fill that out correctly, their name and then the name of the course. So if it's pre-AP English 1, then you get the pre-AP English 1. And then at the bottom, there's a place for student, parent, and teacher. You do not get a teacher's signature at this time. This agreement is between the student, the parent, and the teacher that's going to teach this class. So obviously, you can't come up here and get a teacher's signature for the pre-AP English 1 teacher. Well, because she's going to be here and she's going to talk to you. But I'm just kidding. It's business. But so the teacher will be blank, just the parent and the student signature, and then name and course title at the top. Okay? And then Miss Beasley. Okay, never mind. This person.
Okay, I have someone very special to introduce you to. Yes, I'm an aunt. We're all nuts around here. This lady has been a phenomenal teacher throughout our building. She has taught at multiple grade levels, and she has taken on various roles to sponsor various clubs and organizations. She's always one of the first teachers to come and say, hey, you need help with time camps, you need help with parent night, do you need help with this? And we're sometimes figuring it out, how can we put her to work, but we always do. Miss Brooke Beasley, please come forward. She is our Teacher of the Year for Colorado High School in 2019-2020.
I'm Brooke Beasley. I teach pre-AP English, freshman English, as well as several of the electives, but I am also the freshman class sponsor. So at the beginning of the year, especially, you're going to be hearing from me when it comes to the building the float for our homecoming parade. So please be looking for asking maybe your students, because I don't send them in the mail, I send them home with your kids. You know how that happens sometimes, it gets lost between class and home. Asking for help. Well, and students, oh my gosh, this is probably one of the best ways to team build with your class. Freshman pride, your team, your class, and we get a bunch of students out there. And so we're going to be, but we have to have a lot of help from the adults as well, from parents. We'll need place to build, we'll need lumber, we'll need all kinds of stuff, which will be in the letter. So that's coming out of freshman parents. Okay, so welcome to high school. There's all kinds of stuff we're going to ask you to get involved with as well. And then a shameless plug, I'm also the academic team coach. Please come out to, if you're the smarty pants in the group, come out to our table out here. Thank you.
She failed to mention she's the academic team coach, and they are area champions and heading to state. Going for state championship for our academic team. Hey, I just want to jump on real quick one more time. I just want to say real quickly, great schools don't just happen. It's the hard work of all of the people here, the parents, the students, the coaches, the teachers. It's everyone that we're working together to make a great school happen. And we don't have a perfect school, and I say this this all the time when I enroll new students. We don't have a perfect school, but we've got people who are going to bust their butt every single day to make sure to give us the best school that we can have. And so students, I challenge you now. We preach it all the time, once a Titan, always a Titan. We are a Titan family, and you're going to graduate a Titan. I see a lot of familiar faces in here. Sherry Hanley, Carl Albert graduates, and so super excited for all of you. There's a strong tradition within Carl Albert, and so looking forward to each and every one of you. The class of 2024, Ms. Purcell has a couple more announcements. I just want to give it up again one more time real quickly to Ms. Purcell and the counselors and everyone that made this possible today. This is going to help you in your future. And parents, it is so imperative. It is so imperative that your students come to Titan Camp. That'll be in August, probably the first week of August. It's imperative that they come to that. There is so much information, and they're going to get to go find their classes and find their lockers, and it makes that transition just 100% smooth. So you need to make sure that as soon as that date is out, we will share that and make sure that your students come to that. And Ms. Purcell has some closing words for you.
All right, so let's recap a few things. We spent a day last week at the middle school. Mrs. Souza, Mrs. Worth, and I working together as a team, a counseling team with your students, giving them information. We had our meeting tonight so that you're aware of what we said to your son or daughter. We have asked for the due date of these forms to be tomorrow, January 28th. Okay? So talk about those pre-AP and AP classes tonight. Have that conversation. We're going to get out of here a little earlier than we expected. So tomorrow, students, turn these forms in to your history teacher. Very important. Because we need to get them reviewed, looked in the computer, because guess what? We're coming back to spend more time with you. When we come back, it will be February the 5th and 6th, and we will spend a few minutes with each one of our incoming freshmen, one-on-one. They will sit down with us one-on-one. It may only be 2 minutes, but they at least we get that time with them. We get to know them a little bit. One thing about them, which is always great. So turn these forms in so that we can review that to your history teacher. We look forward to that. We are excited. The last thing I have is the clubs and organizations. Sorry, we're going off of our PowerPoints from the past. Clubs and organizations. So, guys, remember, get involved. We have multiple clubs here, so many clubs here. Eco Club. They may not be represented tonight, but listen to those announcements whenever you come in August. They will be all over the announcements. Come join this club. There will be posters in the hallways, but the bulk of our clubs are here tonight. So when you exit, we ask that you exit the 2 doors here. So use 2 doors so that we're not all trying to get out one. Our clubs and organizations are down the hallway to speak with them. In the little gym, you'll go out the hallway, go into the little gym door, and that's where you will have your coaches sign those forms. Make sure you do that. Last but not least, if you are going to take a pre-AP or AP class, you must get that agreement. I'd like to introduce at this time, we have someone new to our district. And please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, last name, Miss Carter. Okay, we're getting there. She is over our social studies for the entire district, our gifted and talented, and our AP program. She will be up here to hand out the agreements along with some of our student leadership students up here. So don't forget to get those agreements, and thank you again for coming. We really appreciate you all and look forward to your students.